What is good, guys? Today I'll be going over how to select a perfect niche for SMMA in 2025, and I'm more so making this video for my younger self because I had no clue on how to find the best or perfect niche, and I would always be flipping from niche to niche in the beginning. So I want to make this video to help you guys out so you guys can actually select a niche and start making money with SMMA. So today I'll be going over what niches not to go after, a framework for selecting a great and profitable niche so you guys can make a ton of money with SMMA, and a list of my top 10 niches for 2025 for SMMA. So let's go ahead and dive in so you guys can start making some money with SMMA. Let's get it. All right, guys, let's cover the most discussed topic of SMMA, which is niches. Everyone struggles on finding the best or perfect niche, including myself. I was always flipping from niche to niche in the beginning, thinking there was a magical niche, and this would just lead me nowhere, and I would see no success with my agency. And ultimately, what led me to hitting 100K a month with my SMMA was selecting one niche and sticking with that niche for a long time, guys. And that's the key to success in SMMA, is just selecting one niche, sticking with it for a long time, and becoming an expert in that niche. And that brings me to my next point, guys. There is no perfect niche. I don't care what anyone says, there is no perfect niche. Each niche has its pros and cons, and it took me a while to realize this because I would flip from niche to niche, thinking there's a magical niche that would get me to 10K, 100K a month, but this is wrong, guys. There is no perfect niche. You need to stick to one niche, become an expert at it. That's the same thing with like what platform you're running for that niche, right? You need to stick with one platform as well, but selecting a niche, you can't be flipping from niche to niche, guys. Otherwise, you guys will never learn that niche and never understand the ins and outs of that niche, guys. So you guys have to select one niche, and what I'm gonna go over today will help you select that one niche so you guys can have the best chance of succeeding with SMMA by selecting a great and profitable niche. So I'll go over that today, and I'll also go over niches that you shouldn't select. But just because I say you shouldn't select them doesn't mean you can't do it, because there's a ton of niches that I say that you probably shouldn't do that other people have scaled in before, guys. So there is no right or wrong here. You can choose whatever you want. The biggest thing is that actually just sticking with that niche, guys. But I'll give you guys the best possibility to succeed with SMMA by using the framework I'm about to lay out for you guys. But guys, literally that's the biggest thing in all this, is just to select one niche and stick with that one niche. Otherwise, you guys will never see success in SMMA if you're just flipping from niche to niche every single week. Because I did this, and I was at $0 a month for so long because I was trying to do that, guys. And I know you guys won't like to hear that because I know it's a lot easier just to blame the niche for something not working. And I used to do that all the time and be like, oh yeah, this niche, like the business owners in this niche like aren't buying or whatever. But in reality, it was just my ability to sell and actually sticking with the niche and actually learning it, so I knew what I was talking about on the sales calls. Because right when you get into a niche, you won't know it that well, and that's why it's so critical to stick to one niche in the beginning. Otherwise, you guys won't learn it, and you guys won't see any progress, guys. So let's go ahead and dive into some niches that you shouldn't do in SMMA. And obviously, just because I say you shouldn't do it doesn't mean you can't do it if you really want to do it. But I'm just trying to give you guys the best chance to succeed with picking the niche in SMMA and actually sticking with it long term. And so it's profitable, and so you can make a ton of money with SMMA. So let's go ahead and dive into that. All right, guys. So niches not to go after. I would avoid low ticket and broke niches because I was in the gym niche in the beginning. And obviously, there's been people who've scaled up in the gym niche, like Alex Hormozy and a lot of other agencies who have scaled to 100K a month in like the gym niche before. But what I learned from it is that a lot of them are broke, and you can't really charge those 5 to 10K a month retainers in that niche. And it's a lot harder to do that. So that's why I would just avoid low ticket and broke niches. And like anything like restaurants, like franchises, stuff like that, I would just avoid doing those types of niches because they are broke, guys. And the way that you can actually make a ton of money with SMMA is choosing rich niches or high ticket niches so that they can make a lot of money per each lead that you get them or each close that you get them, guys. So that's the biggest thing in all this, is to avoid low ticket ones. Obviously, you can still do it, especially in the beginning. You can do it just to like get your foot in the door and just get some experience, and then flip to something high ticket if you want to do that. But yeah, I would avoid low ticket and broke niches. And the second one is e-com. I would just avoid e-com because it's a whole different breed of advertising. It's a lot harder, it's a lot more competitive, and it's a lot harder to get your foot in the door in the beginning. And there's so many different metrics you have to look at in the beginning, and it makes it a lot harder when you're advertising. And that's something I would avoid in the beginning. Obviously, in the future, once you get a lot better at advertising, stuff like that, maybe you can go into e-com if you're really interested in that. But it's a lot harder to advertise and get results for e-com because it's a lot more competitive. There's a lot more things you have to analyze in terms of ads. So I just know I don't have that much experience on e-com, but I just know I've heard it's really hard and really hard to get results for. And I think a lot of the people I know who are in e-com and actually selling like products and stuff, I just know that the advertising and everything for it is really hard. Obviously, you could probably make it work if you really want to go into it, but I would just avoid e-com in the beginning because you're likely to fail with e-com marketing in the beginning. So I'll just avoid e-com in the beginning, and you guys will be a lot happier if you guys avoid it, right? And the last one is unique niches with not that many businesses. Because if you go in a niche with not that many businesses, it'll be a lot harder for you to find more clients to reach out to on a daily basis and get on more sales calls, which in all this is the biggest thing in terms of getting more clients, right? So you need a lot of businesses to reach out to. And if there's not that many businesses in that niche, you'll have a hard time making a ton of money long term in this. So obviously you can make some money in the short term, but like once you go through all of those lead lists, it'll be a lot harder for you to continue to make money, guys. So really what niches not to go after, don't go after low ticket and broke niches. I would avoid e-com in the beginning, and I would avoid niches that don't have that many businesses. So you want to find niches that have a ton of businesses in it so you can maximize your chances for success. So you can actually reach out to a ton of business owners on a daily basis and make a ton of money in SMMA, guys. So those are my niches not to go after. So yeah, some like are like gyms, restaurants, anything that's really low ticket. I would avoid doing that. Like something like auto detailing. I wouldn't do like auto detailing if it's just like the low ticket auto detailing. Obviously like the car wraps and everything like that, that's a different ball game and you can make that work as well. But just anything that's low ticket, you can like type into like ChatGPT, like what are a bunch of like low ticket niches that don't make that much money, and then you can get like a list of niches that you should not go after. And then yeah, guys, avoid e-com and then avoid niches with not that many businesses, guys. So let's go into my framework of selecting a great and profitable niche so you guys can actually select a great niche for you guys to stick with the long term and make a ton of money with SMMA. All right, guys, I call this the Big 3 niche selection framework. And if you have 2 or 3 of these as yes, it is likely to be a great niche and you have a good chance of succeeding, guys. So the first one is it high ticket and is there a lot of buying power in it? So if it is a high ticket and rich niche, you'll have a lot better chance of actually charging those high ticket retainers that you want. So you'll actually be able to charge those 5 to 10K a month retainers without any like hassle on it. And it'll be a lot easier for them to actually buy that because they're making a lot more money per each client that you get them, right? So this is just more so my experience on this. And if you go into something that's high ticket, it'll be a lot easier for you to make a ton of money in SMMA, guys. So I would 100% choose a high ticket and rich niche. And that's probably my biggest characteristic of a great niche is it high ticket and is it profitable, guys? So that's probably my biggest characteristic of a great niche is it high ticket and is it a rich niche? Because if you want to be selling to rich people, guys, it's a lot easier for them to give you money if they are rich and they make a ton of money for each client that you get them, guys. That's probably my biggest thing in all of this is choosing a rich and high ticket niche, guys. So the second one is it proven? Have other agency owners scaled to like 100K a month in this niche before? Because if you know it's been done before, you know that you can do it. You just have to be a little better and more unique in it and find a different way to scale up in that niche. Because if it's been done before, you know that you can do it. You just have to put in the work and stay committed to it. So some like examples are like roofing, solar, lawyers. All of those niches have people that have scaled to 100K a month in those niches, so you know it's been done before. And I'll go over a list of my top 10 after this slide, so you guys can get a better sense of what niches that you might want to consider. And I'll also give you guys a ChatGPT prompt, so you can find a list of a bunch of niches that fit these characteristics, so you guys can have a better chance of selecting a great niche that you actually want to select, right? And the last one is, are there a lot of businesses in that niche? Because if there's a lot of businesses in that niche, you'll have a lot better chance of closing more clients and being able to actually reach out to more clients on a daily basis and get on more sales calls on a daily basis, guys. And that's the biggest thing in all this is getting on a bunch of sales calls and closing more clients. Because in the beginning, you might not be that great at sales and you need a lot of clients to reach out to and get on the sales calls with so you guys can close more clients, right? So again, if you have a niche with 2 or 3 of these as yes, it is likely to be a great niche and profitable niche. And if you have all 3 of these, it is a perfect niche and you guys have the best chance of succeeding with SMMA. So if you guys follow all 3 of these and you don't see success, I would realistically see like what you guys are doing. Like, are you guys doing something wrong? Are you guys not fulfilling for these clients? Are you guys not getting on as many sales calls as you want? Because if it follows these 3, you have a good chance of succeeding and you just have to stick with it. And again, guys, you just have to stick with the niche and stick with it for at least 2 to 3 months. And you guys will see success in SMMA. It's not the niche. It's not the niche, guys. Do not blame the niche, guys. It is never the niche. I used to always blame the niche, and that would get me nowhere. If you blame the niche, you won't get anywhere, and you won't see any success, guys. So let's go ahead and dive into my list of top 10 niches for 2025 so you guys can have a good sense of what niches to maybe consider. And guys, this list is just like a list of like that I came up with and I think would be great niches. So you don't have to roll with any of these niches. These are just like examples that you guys could go into. But yeah, they're not like set in stone, but like they are good niches that you can consider, guys. All right, guys, so these are my top niches for 2025, and I gave you a couple extra. That's a little bit more than 10. But first one is real estate. It's proven. There's a lot of businesses in real estate. and you can make a lot of money in real estate if you sell more of like the high ticket homes, all that. So real estate's a great niche. Roofing and solar kind of go hand in hand. If you do roofing, you could probably do solar as well. And they're both really high ticket, and they're both proven because there's been multiple 100K agencies in both roofing and solar. And also real estate, obviously real estate, like Matt Shields, he has that 300K a month agency. So it's definitely proven you can definitely make it work. So the next one up is debt, guys. And debt is more just purely lead gen. So you'll be selling it based on the price per lead on that one. But it's a great one for lead gen, and it's a great niche to get into because the ads people running in that aren't that competitive right now, but there's a lot of buying power, and it is proven that you can make a ton of money in debt, but it's a little bit more cutthroat in debt. And the next two are insurance and lawyers. Both ones are great as well. But if you do insurance, I'll do something more like life insurance because there's a lot of buying power in life insurance, a little bit more high ticket. And I would avoid something like car insurance because it's a little bit more low ticket and you don't make that much per each lead. But life insurance is a great one to get into. And lawyers, obviously, lawyers have a lot of money, they're rich, and it's a great niche to get into no matter what like specific practice you get into for lawyers. But those are some good ones as well. So now let's go over to the right-hand side. Chiropractors, great niche as well. There's been a lot of proven agencies who have scaled to big numbers in chiropractors. And obviously med spas, guys, it's a little bit more competitive in med spas, but it is a great niche. There are a bunch of agencies doing 50K a month or 100K a month in med spa niche. Then HVAC also really good as well. Dental niche, high ticket. And then HRT and TRT clinics, great one as well. And then high ticket coaching, it's a little bit more competitive now, so maybe I would avoid high ticket coaching. But HRT and TRT clinics would be a great one. Also like fertility, like those type of things, it's really high ticket and there's a huge demand for it nowadays. So these are a list of my top niches for 2025. And now let's go into like a ChatGPT prompt so you guys can actually get a huge list of niches that you might want to consider for your agency. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So guys, with this prompt, I said, give me a list of 50 niches for SMMA that are high ticket, proven, meaning other SMMA owners have scaled in this niche before, and there are a lot of businesses in that niche. And obviously, guys, these all aren't going to be perfect, but this will give you a list of like different ones you can consider, guys. So if you guys go in here, you can see like, oh yeah, plastic surgery, cosmetic, like orthodontist, those are all high ticket, dental implants, high ticket, med spa, high ticket, cosmetic again, cosmetic, fertility, yeah, I would honestly go into like fertility as well because fertility is really high ticket and there's a huge demand for it now. So like fertility would be honestly a great one. I feel like it's more of like a blue ocean because I don't see that many people doing it. People might want to avoid it, but honestly, I think that's a great niche and that might be something I want to consider in the future as well. Like weight loss clinics, that wouldn't be bad, but I don't know, I'd maybe avoid that one. IV therapy and wellness clinics, I would just get a better sense of like, it's like those ones are popping right now, actually. IV therapy and wellness clinics, those ones are popping. That one could be really interesting because I always see that around here in Austin. I always see people like advertising for the like IV therapy. Like yeah, so that one could be really good because those are pretty expensive. I don't know if it's really expensive, but like if you get them a lot of customers, I think it could be really worth it for them, especially if they're not doing that much business because it's definitely a little bit more competitive than that. So if that one could be interesting. Chiropractic, obviously. Physical therapy, I think, is pretty expensive. Boutique private and medical practice, I would just maybe avoid that one. I don't know how many. That one actually could be pretty good if you get them really like high ticket treatments. That one could be good. Medical specialists, yeah, that's fine. Luxury real estate, yeah, like real estate developers. I don't know too much about that. I don't know if that's more of like, I don't know, is that more probably like commercial? Boutique law firms. Yeah, great niche. Financial advisors. Oh yeah, that's one I didn't mention. Wealth management, I think, is really high ticket, like gold IRAs, stuff like that. So that could be a really good one to get into if you're like wanting something that's really high ticket, because like that one could be really good. And then I know that they charge a lot per lead that you get them on that. So wealth management could be really something to like look into as well. So I would definitely look into like wealth management if you're looking for something that's really high ticket as well. I didn't list that one. So that's a really good reason why I use ChatGPT because it'll give you a bunch of different ideas, guys. So wealth management, great one. Private investment firms, I don't know. But also, yeah, this one, I like for wealth management, I focus more on like the commercial side of, not the commercial side of, like the consumer side of it, so like gold IRAs and stuff like that. I don't know too much about wealth management, so if I just misspoke my words, I have no clue. Yeah, I have to do a little bit more research into that, but I just know it's definitely a great niche, like high ticket, and a lot of buying power in that niche as well. Boutique insurance agencies, I don't know. Hotels, I would avoid. Wellness centers, probably avoid. Restaurants, 100% avoid. Do not listen to this. Do not listen to that. Luxury car dealerships, let's see. I don't know. I'd probably avoid that. Exotic car rental services, probably avoid that because it's a lot smaller of a demographic that you're advertising to. And depending on the city, maybe like if you do like a small thing like Miami where it's really big to like rent cars, stuff like that, maybe do something like that. But I'd probably avoid that as well. And then remodeling, solid. I would avoid something like jet services. Like I would avoid that. You don't need anything like that unique, guys. Again, going back to my point of like unique, I'd probably not do jet services. But like remodeling would be a great one because I know like a lot of those like projects are really high ticket. Interior design firms, I didn't really think about that one, but I probably would avoid that one. Construction companies probably would be good, but that's probably more commercial, and you probably wouldn't do like social media lead gen for it. Solar, good. High-end fitness, no, I'd do that because it's a lot. There's not that many high-end fitness centers. It's like a small market. Personal training, nope. Executive coaching, leadership consulting, maybe. Business coaching, consulting agencies, I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably just remove the high-ticket coaching from my slide earlier on. I'd probably just avoid that one, guys. But, all right, I won't go through all of them, but you get a good sense of like my thought process behind going through each one of these, so you can get more of like a sense of into my mind of like what my thought process is like when looking at a niche and like whether or not like it'd be something that I'd want to go into, something like that. So I hope this helped you guys out. But yeah, I'll paste this prompt below so that you guys can put it in for yourself and see a bunch of different lists. And then one thing you can do is like you can just say like more and keep going after it, and then keep finding a big list of niches that you could possibly consider. But the biggest thing is I wouldn't spend too long on this. I'll just maybe think about it for a day and select one, and then just go after that and stick with it for like 3 months, guys. That's the biggest thing in all this is you just have to stick with it, and then you will make money with it if you stick with it for like 2 to 3 months at least, guys. That's the biggest thing in this whole game is just sticking with it, and you will outlast other people because a lot of people will do like what I did in the beginning. They'll pick a niche, and then they will be like, oh yeah, like it's the niche, SMMA doesn't work. But they only stuck with it for like a week. I'm like, a week? Like, yeah, like, so like that's like my thought process in the beginning. Like I really just blamed the niche. I tried blaming everything else other than myself. And it was myself because I didn't know the niche. I didn't know how to run ads for that niche. Like it was everything like that, guys. So yeah, guys, on a closing note, there is no perfect niche, guys. You guys just got to choose one, roll with it, and stick with it, and you guys will succeed, guys. Stick with one niche for at least 2 to 3 months, and you guys will learn the ins and outs of that niche, and you guys will continue learning that niche as you go. And people love working with an expert in their niche, so if you know the ins and outs of the niche, like different language they use, it'll be a lot easier for you to close these clients as you learn the niche better, guys. So just choose a niche, use that framework I laid out today, and you guys will have a good chance of making a ton of money with SMMA, guys. But yeah, guys, that is all I had for today. If you got any value from this video, drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about niches, just drop them down below. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I'll drop my Calendly below, and I'll help you install the same systems I have in my 100K a month agency right now. And that's essentially all I had today, so I'll catch you guys in the next video. Get to work, and peace.